Hello, how are you doing?
Doing well, how are you?
Good. So, do you have anything you want to say before I ask you a couple questions?
No, just thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for reaching out to me, actually. That was the
Yeah.
first time someone's reached out to me.
Of course.
So, so I guess I'll start from the very beginning on what was your life like before you started running? Like, what were you doing like, with your free time and stuff?
Yeah, so I started running when I was in third grade. I was 8, I think. But before that, I played baseball. So I started baseball when I was 4 or 5 years old, so pretty young, just like t-ball and stuff. And then eventually, my sister, she played soccer her whole life. She went out and ran track, and she was pretty good at it. So she decided to run cross country. And then her boyfriend at the time, because she's 6 years older than me, so when she was her freshman, his dad had a youth program, so I went out for that. Started it. Before that, I was just a baseball player. I played baseball up until I was 12. And then in sixth grade, I switched just to full-time running, which is the best decision I ever made. But I remember at the time my parents were a little wary. They just didn't want me putting everything into putting all my eggs in one basket. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it worked out. So,
So, is there a specific reason you like decided to mainly like focus on running versus like continue with baseball?
I mean, really, one thing is just I felt like I was better at running. With baseball, I couldn't have, I mean, it was so small. I couldn't hit it to the outfield. If I got a base hit, it was a little dribbler that I would outrun. But yeah, I was just really good when I would get on base. I would steal second, steal third every single time. I was a good base runner, and then I was a good center fielder. I could run around and catch all these balls, and I was just like, if the best things that I'm at baseball is running, and I run as well, why not just go full on all in on running? So, yeah, that ended up working out.
So when you began running, did you find like an instant love for it, or like were you already like pretty good, or did it take a while to get used to like just running?
I mean, so the day I quit baseball and went full time in on running, it was covered bridge run my sixth grade year, and I remember I was walking out the parking lot with my parents, and I told my mom I was like, I don't want to play baseball anymore. I just want to run. So it was just kind of I had a really good race that day. But I guess it always came relatively easy to me. I always liked it, but I don't know. It took me a little while. I think I started realizing I wasn't going to be the best at baseball for my whole life, so figured it was better to go in on running.
So when you were in high school, I guess like you just ending up your high school career right now, what was like your favorite race and like your least favorite race you've done?
Oh, wow. That is a really good question. Um, I think my favorite race would be the state 1600 my junior year. And my least favorite race would be the state 3200 my junior year. Just because the 3200 I fell, I just had this, I mean, I wasn't feeling that great anyways, but I fell with like, I think 1K to go, something like that, which sucked because I thought I had a better chance of performing better in the 32 than I did in the 16. But then I think the reason that the 16 ended up becoming so good was just because of how bad the 32 was. That I figured, I mean, like the contrast to the two of them. So it was a really weird mix of emotions that weekend where I came home mad Friday night and then happy Saturday. So
What did you end up placing in the 1600?
I got second behind Ethan Ashley.
Uh,
Yeah,
Ethan's a great athlete though. He had a almost undefeated season.
yeah, he was a tank. He was good. I
Yeah.
love it.
So what's your favorite workout to do like before like a big meet or like peak week, I guess?
Yeah, this is a workout that I used to not do that much until this track season, but I did it like 3 or 4 times throughout the track season, so it was nice to like be able to tell where I am in terms of how much or just like how much improvement I've been making throughout the season. So it was a workout we did 6 by 1K. at threshold, and then 200-meter jog in between. And then after that, I would do 4x300 at just fast. So I think I was going 41 to down to 39, something like that. So it's terrible. I think I finished every 300 I finished. I was on the ground for a minute and a half afterwards, and the rest was 3 minutes. So I would get back up, meander my way to the start line, and just go through another one.
So, when you're running, like what shoe would you wear for a workout like that?
Yeah, I wear Saucony Endorphin Speeds pretty much for every workout, or like if it's like an intense long run or something like that, I'll wear the Endorphin Speeds. But then just for a normal easy day, I wear Saucony Ride 14s, I think. I think I'm 2 generations behind, but I get them for cheap and I like the shoes. So yeah. But gotta switch to New Balance now. So
Yeah, as a Colombian athlete.
yep.
So you said you did it was 1K threshold, right?
Hmm.
So how do you like feel about like how Norwegians kind of like brought thresholds into like the mix, like which was like a
Yeah.
big different training style versus like just going all out until like you hit the floor usually.
Yeah. I think it's just like the age of science and the stuff. Like we know what's better for runners now than we did like 20 years ago. And so I think like as we continue to learn more and more about how you can get faster, like threshold other things will be brought into training that weren't previously there. And I think that's why like you see so much success out of the Norwegians and other groups like that.
Hmm. So when you were choosing a college, what was like the deciding factor to go to Columbia?
So really it was the team. I already knew George and Edward pretty well. We went to Flagstaff the last summer together. And I went on my visit and I was on with a guy who I think he committed to Michigan, John O'Reilly.
Okay.
And on during the visit, I remember it was the second day, and he asked me something about the school, about a building or something. I was like, dude, I don't know. Like, I know as much as you do. I haven't been here before. And then he was like, wait, what? Because he thought I was already on the team, and how he put it was that I was already boys with everyone. And I was like, all right, if this kid thinks I'm already on the team and like I get along that well with everyone, then I feel like I have to go there. That was really where I was like, all right, like this is a spot for me. So.
So George was biking next to me the other day while I was running, since he's like my coach. But he
Yeah.
said you and him are both trying to get Tommy Latham on the team. Do you see that happening?
I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I would love to have Tommy. That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a talented stud. I like Tommy. He's a good guy. Yeah.
So are you excited to try New Balances? Because I've had New Balance and I've loved them personally.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I feel like at this point, every shoe company is pretty much getting close to the same. It's just like
Yeah.
personal preference for what you want. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think New Balance is becoming a little underrated, so we'll see how it goes.
Mhm.
But I know their racing spike's really, really nice, so I'm excited to try that.
So I actually really want to try the New Balance racing spike too. I think I'm gonna try
Yeah.
get cross country season.
Hmm.
But do you have a favorite like pro runner that you kind of look up to, or like you think
Mm.
like
I
pretty cool?
mean, well, I like Jakob a lot, but
Uh,
he's kind of easy to like. I feel like just because he's so good.
yeah,
Um, I like, hmm, I like Magoose a lot, but also he's just the best American right now, and I feel like he's
yeah.
got the best chance to do something on the world stage, which I like. My dog's in here.
Mm,
Sorry, but yeah, I like Magoose a lot right now. Oh, I just like all the on guys really. The
yeah,
all like Garcia Romo and Ollie Horde, Joe Klecker. I like them a lot. So
yeah. OnCloud has been doing a lot of good things recently.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I always was just like they just kept getting good guys over and over
Mhm.
again, and they're like starting to compete with Nike a little bit for
Yeah.
some of the best Americans.
So have you heard like Jakob's new record?
Oh yeah,
Like
the
the
2 mile that was
7:54.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like negative split on that too. I think what was it? He went like 4 flat 0.3 and then 358 like or 353.8 or something like that. Something
That's what
ridiculous.
it was.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. It's also just funny to me that he didn't break four on the first one.
Yeah. So do you see yourself running professionally out of college?
I mean, I would love to see where I get to in another year or two, but that dream is definitely still alive. So yeah, that'd be the life.
So what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in economics right now. I think I'll probably stay with that, but I never know. We'll see.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of running out of a little bit of questions, but do you have anything you kind of want to like talk about possibly?
Oh, you're good. I love talking about running. I'll talk about anything. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I actually, can you tell me 5 random facts about you?
Mm,
Got to ask that one.
I'm almost as good at running as I am at pickleball. Um,
I love pickleball.
Pickleball's so fun. Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Best sport outside of running. Um,
Yeah.
I eat 2 bowls of Cheerios a day, pretty much. That's what I was just eating
Like
before this.
nothing on them.
Nothing on them, not honey nut or
Uh,
anything. Plain Cheerios and with skim milk too.
mm.
Yeah, pretty bland, but they're so good. I
I
love
mean, I usually eat like at least a bowl of Cheerios a day, but I put like some salt on them,
them. Yeah.
give them a little bit of flavor.
I don't know. I've been doing it since I was really young, so maybe that's why I like them so much. But I don't know. They're just
Great
really.
against the Cubs too.
Hmm?
Taste. They're great Cubs.
Oh yeah, they're for sure. Yeah, and they're good for your heart and stuff. So I'll
Yeah.
keep eating them.
And lower cholesterol.
Yeah, exactly. Let me think. A couple other things. Um, I like disc golf a lot. Almost as much as pickleball and almost as much as running. Oh, here's one. I only run at Chattahoochee Point when I have the option, pretty much. So
Mhm.
Chattahoochee Point Park, best park in the world. Shout out Chattahoochee Point Park. Um, love that place.
Same.
Um, and I'm trying to think. Hmm, something else I do. Um, Pretty good at FIFA. So decent at it. Pretty good at Madden. Yeah.
So with like, so is that what you mainly like fill your free time with? Like just like pickleball, disc golf, Madden,
I mean,
FIFA.
during the season, I try to stay away from pickleball and like the other sports as much, just because I
Mhm.
try not to be as I don't want to work my body too much. And I've noticed when I play pickleball that my like calves or like my lower or like my anterior tibialis will bother me a little bit the next day, which is annoying. So I try to stay away from it during the season, but like during summer when I had this break, it was just pickleball, disc golf, everything every day. But yeah, and then I guess during the season I just kind of well normally I have school, so that's like enough to get me
Yeah.
off of so just keep me busy at least for the majority of the day.
So what is your weekly mileage looking like right now? Or like in the summer, I guess.
Yeah,
So
I've always kind of been low mileage. During track season, I think I averaged like 41 a week. And then now, I mean, this these upcoming weeks I'm low. Like I think I'm 25 this week, and then I keep building up from there, like 35, 40s, and then I'll get up. I'll be like 65 later in June. But but yeah, the most I've ever done, I think, is only 55. I think, and that was last summer. But yeah, I'm excited. I think 65 will be the sweet spot for me. Just like bring my mileage up without anything crazy. So yeah, I'm excited.
are you excited to train with the Columbia boys?
Dude, I'm stoked. I wish I could explain how excited I am. I've been waiting for this moment for the longest time where I can rip workouts with Edward and George. So I'm sure
Hmm.
we'll have a fun time, especially when we come home on breaks and stuff. We'll still be able to like go and work
Yeah.
out together, which is nice. So
So
yeah.
how did you meet Edward and George?
Um, well, the first time I ever met them was at Nike camp, Smoky Mountain running camp when I was going
Mhm.
into my freshman year. And they knew a couple of my teammates just because they went to a different running camp with them, but I didn't go to that one. And I didn't really get to know them at all then, but I guess I met them and I always knew who they were. And then same camp, Smoky Mountain Running Camp, going into my junior year, we like hung out a little bit at the camp, got to know them a little bit more. And then Um, yeah, and then last summer we all went out to Flagstaff for 3 weeks. So yeah, it's some of the best 3 weeks of my life. Became really good friends with them, and now I'm going to school with them. So yeah, pretty awesome.
So how do you manage since you obviously have pretty decent grades to be going to an Ivy League school? Like how do you manage like both education
Um,
and athletics?
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, it's always come pretty routine.
Mm.
I would get home from school and or I would like go to practice, come home from school, and if I had homework to do, I'd just get it done real fast. But I always kind of tried to manage my schedule enough to where I would have like a study hall period or something where I could go and work on the other classes instead of having to do it all at home. So yeah, I really didn't have to do too much at home. I would do a lot in study hall, and then I'd have other times where I'd be ahead in my classes, so I could get some work done in those. But yeah, I don't know. I've always just I've always just kind of gotten into a routine during the school year, and works out, I guess. So
So if you do end up running professionally, what event would you want to run? And
that's
who would you want to run for, like Nike or Adidas or something like that?
if I could run for anyone, well, I mean, right now it'd probably be On. I just think that would be a
Yeah.
fun team where they're like still on the up and coming and getting added to that group. I feel like they're all really hungry still, which is cool. And then I mean, I want to say the 1500, but I don't know. I might be a 5K guy come college. We'll see. I think it'll really just be depending on how I do like the next year or two. If I had to choose, I would run cross still in college and then be a 1500 and maybe a 5K guy or like 3K when we race it indoors. Just because, yeah, I think I still have like, I don't
So
know.
kind of like year it was where he like would race
Yeah,
cross
yeah,
country but then like drop down
yeah.
distance.
Exactly, yeah. And we have a guy on our team who does that, like Michael Danzy. I don't know if you know who that is.
I have an idea. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah. So he does the same thing where he'll run cross but he'll
Hmm.
mainly focus on the 15 come track, which I think would be the right fit for me. But we'll see. I'll see what the coaches want me to do and just go with whatever they believe in because got my full trust in them. So
So you raced that running lane, right, this year?
yeah, yeah.
So did you were you in the final heat?
No, I was second
No,
heat in
but you went 4:06, right?
yeah, it was 407 full mile, and then it was like through 1600. I think it was 406.02 or something like that.
So that's pretty dang fast. But did you stay to watch the final heat?
Yeah, I did. I was wondering. I was like, am I gonna make podium? Am I not? I don't know. So yeah, I made sure I stayed, and yeah, it was fun to watch, man.
I
They're
think I did end up watching your heat though, because we got there. My brother raced in one of the like one of the slower heats, not quite towards the top.
Mhm.
But like the final was so crazy to watch when they had like the fire spitting out of the cannons.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun.
It's a really cool atmosphere, and I like how they let the people down on the track. I think
Uh-huh.
that makes it a lot more fun, just because
Yeah,
when they're so up close and personal with you, and like everyone's yelling in your face, it just makes you more inclined to go faster. So.
yeah. So was that your first ever time racing with pacing lights?
That was, yeah. And it was weird too, because I don't know, maybe I like them, maybe I don't, but I felt like when I wasn't on the pacing lights, I was angry. And then when I was, it was just like, all right, whatever. So, but maybe it helped. I don't really know. I also, at least for the 60 or for the mile, especially, I always try not to race for time. Like I'll just go out and compete and race against the people that I'm racing with, just because, especially in the mile, I felt that the time would come with that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't as concerned about that. And then, yeah, just go out and race, and normally the time will come with it. So,
So at the end of the your running career, like after college, like if you like make it pro, like what would be your dream way to end your career off? Like before
um,
getting into
I mean, an
running.
Olympic team and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But yeah, if I could choose anything, I mean, I kind of like how the way Nick Simmons did it, where he's like
Yeah.
now doing like the YouTube and gig and everything, which I think is cool.
Uh,
Where he like basically made a business out of being a
yeah.
professional, which I think is really cool. And then I definitely want to coach when I'm older for sure. I just feel like I have
You
so much
enjoy
knowledge.
and do co-coaching business.
Yeah. Um, I just feel like I have enough knowledge and like I have so much respect for the sport that I
Yeah.
want to give that knowledge to other people and try my best to help them out. So yeah.
So, do you have any questions for me? If not, like I'm ready if you end it.
I don't know really much about you. How'd you get into running?
So I started running because my mom encouraged me to do it in my sixth grade year. She wanted she wanted me to do it my fifth grade year, but I was too nervous to run against my brother, and since he was like a lot faster than me, and I didn't
Yeah.
want to like be upstage that much. So, but then he went into high school the next year, so I ran, and the season started off really well. I was competing with my friend Duncan Singh, who would be like number one on the team. He
Mm.
ended up beating me at every single race by a good margin. Like I
Yeah.
almost beat him at Wingfoot cross country championships, but he like I started kicking like 500 to go, and I thought there was like 100 to go, and he like passed me with 100 to go. So
That's funny.
that was a rough first season, but I convinced one of my coaches to start a track team that
Mhm.
year, and I ended up breaking 12 for the first time. So I
Nice.
kind of got hooked on running then.
Yeah.
So during the summer, it was just training. Then going into my seventh grade cross country season, I wanted to be number one on the team. So I ended up winning my first two meets, and I ended up getting like second at states at the end of the year, and that was
Nice.
really cool.
Yeah.
Then I raced at running lane cross country, and like the high school one, and it
Mhm.
was kind of scary racing against high schoolers, but it was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah. I remember when I was in elementary school and I would have to race like the eighth graders and stuff, and they were a
Hmm.
foot and a half taller than me. I would always be so intimidated. Um, but yeah, I like that. You're gonna be an eighth grader now, right?
I'm going into my eighth grade year, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You excited?
Yeah, I'm going to Whitfield, and I used to go to St. Benedict, so
Oh, okay.
it's a bigger school to go to, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Whitfield's had some good guys, the Wade brothers and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, Gabriel Best. Yeah, you've got
Hmm.
good company for there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for letting me interview you. It was lots of
Yeah.
fun.
Of course, for sure. Thank you.
Okay, well, have fun in Columbia or like have fun at Columbia.
Of course. Yep. Sounds good. All right. Bye.
Bye.